as I invite his colleague Shubhranshu Pani, Managing Director, Retail Services India JLL, to give us an overview of JLL India's Retail Realty Report.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. This time, as usual, we thought what to bring forward to, for the retail stakeholders. And we realized that we have always been doing studies on real estate, and we thought that this time we should include what's happening in the industry. As you all know, I've been with you for over a decade, and retail consumption and organized retail in the country has grown leaps and bounds in India. Uh, there has been a lot of ups and downs in the last decade, and although this has a multiplicity of reasons like the economic, socio-political forces, digital forces, the e-commerce forces, the sector has largely been resilient. We had sprites in rentals at one point of time, making real estate space unaffordable. And then we had FDI coming in, or the lack of proper norms in FDI, which resulted in a little bit of a tipsy-turvy entry of international brands. And today, after a lot of while, we have a spate of successful stories of global retailers like Zara, H&M, and IKEA who have come into the country. The digital drive of retail has moved. E-commerce has now become omni-channel. So we are literally at a stage where it's a new beginning. We have seen most of the disruptions, and everybody seems to have become more agile and succeeded in the resilience of the Indian retailers has helped them, succeed and survive and thrive. So today, when we have this significant number of mature development and retail projects, there is another group of stakeholders who have also moved up the chain. We have developers and project groups who have multiple projects across cities. These today call themselves the asset managers who have multiple shopping centers. They're doing a great job, and private equity also has joined along with them. So today there is no dearth of funds for retail and shopping centers. Along with it, we are seeing private equity enter into the retail space. We have seen them over the last few years invest in brands in fashion, F&B, jewelry, furniture, and the likes. So what we felt was that the time has come to delve deep and figure out some of the things which others or some of the active, agile, successful retailers are doing differently. And that brought us to the report. So we basically kept the report very short and simple. We are not the experts. The retailers sitting here are more experts than us. However, we felt that some of the retailers and developers are doing things differently. And I'll just run you briefly through this report. I know you all will get a copy of the reports for yourself. For the retail specifically, we have seen a lot of retailers handle these escalating rentals by looking at the store sizes and efficiencies. Many of the retailers are also seeing and noticing that inventory is one of the largest thing which draws them back. And I know what you're thinking, what's it doing in a real estate providers report. But it is interlinked. Everybody wants larger stores and larger goods. But these store sizes is something which will resonate very strongly with all the developers sitting here. So when they speak to a retailer, they see the retailer asking for a space, and they somehow think that, okay, can you make it more efficient so that it works productively better for both the retailer as well as the developer? Omnichannel has again become one of the key points of interest, and we have seen a lot of overlap between physical retailers having omni-channel strategies and digital retailers wanting to do physical outlets. One of the things which I have personally noticed is these both things are, although We all consider this, that customer is the king and he can choose what he buys from and where he buys from. The way to deliver this needs different types of mindsets, and I think it's best to have teams which can handle both of these things in their expert ways. Another component which we have seen splurge and increase in the last 2-3 years is the penetration of retailers in the tier 2 and tier 3 markets. What we have noticed is that with the shopping centers in the metros taking their own sweet time, growth has only come from tier 2, tier 3 markets. Unlike previous years, the tier 2, tier 3 markets are now sufficiently capable to sustain shopping centers, and you'll see a lot of these developers go into tier 2, tier 3 markets as we go forward. The key takeaways, I won't go through this. I think with this, I'll just invite the guests and clients of ours to come and help us launch the book.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite on stage for the launch of JLL India's Retail Realty Report, Managing Director Shopper Stop, Rajiv Suri, President and Chief Executive Officer, Reliance Brands, Darshan Mehta, Executive Director and Head, DLF Shopping Malls, Pushpa Bector, and Chief Executive Officer, In-Orbit Mall, Rajneesh Mahajan. Congratulations on the launch. Ladies and gentlemen, could we have a round of applause for the team behind this report?